Let's do your favorite stuff. We'll do some probability. Probability. Let's go to page 320, number 2. Okay. Lila, read the question for me.
A bag contains 7 blue marbles and 14 marbles that are not blue. If one marble is drawn at random from the bag, what is the probability that the marble is blue?
Okay. So what is the probability that the marble is blue? How many marbles are there altogether?
21.
Huh?
21.
There are 21 marbles. And how many of them are blue?
7.
So the probability that you're going to pick a blue is what?
1/3.
Right? Okay. What is the probability that I pick 2 and they are both blue?
It's 14.
Is it like that?
No.
Why not?
Isn't it like 7 over 21 times like 6 over 20?
Ah, okay. So there's this,
We did.
and now you are saying this.
I don't know if that's right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So they are both right. The
That-
question is, can you differentiate, can you distinguish which one is which? What happened here that didn't happen here?
Yeah, that one,
The
because the
pulling
first
out
marble
of the
was
first
blue.
marble.
No, both times the first one was blue because they were both blue.
Oh.
Well, yeah, but so if you pick the first marble and the first marble is blue, then you already took that one out.
It's the
So
total.
it subtracts, and it's both a marble and it's blue, so you subtract.
So this is when you pick
Yeah.
the 2 marbles
I know it makes sense.
without replacement,
It's like you took out.
right?
So chances that you bring
Yes.
Because once I take a blue out, now I only have 20 marbles. I only have 6 left, 6 blue marbles left. This one is with replacement, right? In other words, I pick one out. Oh, it's blue. I put it back in, and I pick again. Right? The difference there. Everybody see the difference, right? Because when I with replacement, I replace that back, so now I still start with the 21, all the marbles, right? Okay, so that's the difference there. Okay, so pay close attention to when you read the question, whether it's with replacement or without replacement. Okay? Okay, let's go to the next one, page 321, number 17. Read it for me.
A jar contains only red marbles and white marbles. If the probability of selecting a red marble is R over Y, which of the following expression gives the probability of selecting a white marble in terms of R and Y?
Okay, so R over Y is the probability of picking a white marble, right? And what was the question? They're asking for the complement of that, right? Which is fine. Oh, there's only red and whites. And this was reds. I'm sorry, this is reds. And you want to find out what white is, right? Okay. So what would the answer be? How many white marbles are there? If there are a total of Y, and there are R number of reds,
It's B.
it would be what?
No, it'd be Y.
Y minus R, right? Over Y, right?
Yes.
Does it make sense? Which is what? I do this, I get 1 minus R over Y. Which makes sense. Because when I'm not picking red, I'm picking white, right? So if it's either red or white, if this is the probability of red, it's just 1 minus that, right? It's the complement of that, which is sometimes notate it in that fashion. For the complement, the opposite, okay, not there, okay? All right, so that's that. So that's how you would do that. Move on. 26. Santi.
Okay. At two high schools, those planning to attend college after graduation were polled. The size of the colleges they plan to attend based on student body sizes were tabulated in the table above. The 255 polled students from Manhattan High East had an average SAT score above 1,100, and the 249 polled students from Manhattan High West had an average SAT score below 1,100. If a poll respondent were chosen at random from those planning to attend a college with at least 5,000 students, what is the probability that the respondent would be enrolled at Manhattan High West?
Okay. So how do we do this? Two schools planning to the size of the college they're planned to based on the size of the 255 polled students. The East had an SAT score above 1,100. 249 had Manhattan West. Okay. At least 5,000 students. So that'd be what? That would be the medium and the large, correct? Wouldn't it be the medium and the large? At least 5,000, right? So that'd be 5,000 to 10,000 and more than 10,000 students, correct? Right? So how many students were polled there that meet that category? Isn't it 440? 440, right? And how many of them would be from Manhattan West? So it'd be 112 plus 98. So that would be 230. So the answer would be B, 210. Okay. Everybody understand what I did? What I said there? Looks. I'm getting some blank looks here. So let me go ahead and read. So I have Manhattan East, and I have Manhattan West. And I'm going to less than 5,000, and then I am from 5,000 to 10,000, and then I am greater than 10,000. Right? So my numbers are 25, 155. Somebody call the numbers out for me. 155. What's next?
75.
75.
And 255.
255 from here.
39, 112, 98, 249,
Okay, so if I add these together, I'm going to get what?
64.
267, 173, 504.
Okay. So their question was at least 5,000. If a poll respondent were chosen at random from those planning to attend a college, at least 5,000 students. So that would be what? These guys right here, right? Isn't that are these the people who are planning to attend greater than 10,000? So how many students are there altogether? It's this guy plus this guy, right? Which is what? 440. And they want to know how many people would be in Manhattan West, so it would be these two right here. 210? Right? Is there a number? Is there an answer like that?
Yeah.
B. Okay, the answer would be B. Okay, all right. Let's see what else I can ask here. Given a student was attending Manhattan West, okay, how many students are planning to attend a college greater than at least 5,000? What was the answer? What would be the answer to that question?
210 over 249.
210 over 249. Everybody understand how that worked? Given that I'm Manhattan West, which means that I'm looking at this row only, right? So my entire students are 249, right? Greater than 5,000 would be this plus this, 210. Okay? Given that I plan to attend a college that is greater than 10,000, what is the probability that I attend Manhattan East? $75 over 173, right? Given that I am attending this greater than 10,000, right? So I'm of the 173. What is the probability that I'm attending Manhattan East, right? So 75 over 173. These are called conditional probabilities because I am giving you there's a certain set, right? There's a certain culling mechanism there, right? I'm not looking at all of the 504 people. I'm looking at a certain subset of that. Okay? All right. And we'll go into that in greater detail in statistics. Okay, let's move on to page 324, number 4. How many cars did the 9th grade class wash during the car wash? Gosh, I don't know, this is really hard. How would I do this?
255 divided by 5.
Correct. 51, right? Okay. Number 5. What is this? Oh, it's the same thing. How many more cookies were sold by the 10th grade than were sold by the 12th grade? So how many cookies were sold by the 10th grade? 360 divided by 2, right? And the 12th grade was what? 180 divided by 1.5, correct? You would just compare the two numbers, right? Okay. Okay. I think we're done with this one. So let's move backwards and spend some time on chapter 14. And we'll do some strategies in looking at or solving the SAT questions without having to actually solve the question. Okay? There were some ballparking, some actually just, putting it in, see if it works type of thing. So let's go to chapter 14, page 263. Number 9. Hannah, would you read that for us?
Zoe won the raffle at a fair. She will receive the prize money in 5 monthly payments. If each payment is half as much as the previous month's payment and the total of the payment is $496, what is the amount of the first payment?
Okay, so you're given the 4 choices. Are there anything that that's pops out as this is the answer, or definitely this is not the answer, anything like that? $16. There's no way if you first get $16, right? So if you get $16, the next payment is what? 8. Next one's 4, 2, and 1. These are not adding to $496, correct? Right? So we can cross that one off. So it's A, B, or C. So which one should I choose?
B or C.
Okay, why would I choose, so B or C? Why, so which one would I choose between B or C? Just strategy-wise, which one would I choose, B or C?
C.
So this is where the 50-50-90 rule comes in, right? You have a 50-50% chance of getting it right. 90% of the chance, 90% of the time you're gonna get it wrong, okay? Because the answer is B. And the reason why the answer is B is this. So if you do C and you find out that it's too small, you didn't eliminate. You still have to go back and do A or B, right? But if I do B, it's either right on the money and B's the answer, or it's going to be either too big or too small, right? Then I know it's either going to be A or C. In other words, I did the operations only once. Does that make sense? You see what the strategy is here? Okay, so you would want to do B. Okay? So let's do B. B is what? 96? 96, half of that is 48, 24, 12, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30, 42, 90, 100, 280, no, 186. So that's not it. It's too small. B was too small. Therefore, the answer is A. You see the logic there? Okay? Cool. That's 9. Move on. Oh, never mind. That's still the solution. So let's go to number page 265. System of equations above is satisfied by which or pair. Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of do a little review and actually, well, actually no. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the guess and check. So let's look at A. A is kind of different. Can you see why it's different? It's the only one that has X as a negative number, correct? B, C, and D all seem to have it the other way around. Let's go ahead and plug it in the first line. What do I get? 2 times negative 5 is negative 10, plus 4 is negative 6, but it has to be 6. Therefore, I'm going to eliminate A right off the bat. Okay? So what do I have there? What do I have next? Would 5 and 4 work? No. Because on the first line I'm going to get what? 14, correct? And I'm supposed to get 6. So that's not it. Okay. B and D both work, looks like. Okay. So now I'm going to have to, so I'm going to choose between B and D. Which one am I going to choose? Which one am I going to try? Because I verified that it works on the first line, correct? So I have to verify, I have to put it in the second line, right? So I have a choice of putting in 4 and negative 2, or I have a choice of doing 5 and negative 4. Which one is going to be easier for you? 4 and negative 2 is going to be easier, right? Because it's smaller numbers, right? Okay, so I would do B. I would try B, see what happens. So does B work? 428 does not work, so it must be D. You see the logic there? See the process of how to eliminate the ones that are not working? Okay, let's do number 12, page 266. A bakery sold exactly 85% of the cupcakes it baked on Tuesday. Which of the following could be the total number of cupcakes baked on Tuesday? Aha. So if I take the number that was baked on Tuesday, and that was X, right? And I have to multiply this by 85%, right? That's either going to be 150, 145, 140, or 130. Which one is it going to be? everybody understand what we're trying to solve here? What happens if I baked 200? How many did I sell? Are they asking for leftover or sold?
The total
Total number that was baked, right? So how many did I sell? Right? This times this is that. Right? Do you understand the logic here? If I sold 100, how many would I get? 85. Right? So the question is this: if I baked 210, let's say you guessed 150. Okay, what's the problem with this? I would have to sell a point something of a. Are these muffins or what are they? Bagels, whatever they are. Cupcakes. Okay. So it couldn't be 150, right? You see why it can't be 150? Because it's not a whole number, right? You're going to end up with a whole number. Okay, so that's where the problem is. Okay. So which number, when multiplied by that, gives me a whole number is what they're asking, I think. Right? So if this was 150, how would I solve for x? 150 is a, right? Right? So the top number here, we're gonna change out this top number until we get a whole number on this side is what we're doing. Right? So which one is it gonna be? Which one's the answer? How would you solve this? How would you go about doing this? Obviously 150 is not the answer, right? So if I do what do I get? 150 divided by 0.85.
176.47.
So that's not working, right? 150 is not the correct answer, right? You understand why this is not the correct answer? Right? So, which one will give me a whole number here? Again, which one am I going to guess? Am I going to guess 140, 145, or 130? 145 is even more so not going to give me a whole number, right? Can you see that? This 5 dangling on the end really kind of gives it away. Right? What do you get there if you do this?
170.58.
Okay, 0.58 something, right? So it's not going to do you. So it's either 140 or 130, right? 140 or 130.
40.
You want to try 140? Try 140.
164.7.
Okay. 130 is your answer then. Right? Page 267, number 7.
Wait, not again, because the answer is C.
What?
The correct answer is C.
We just tried.
Natalie?
It's supposed to be 140.
Okay, so 140 divided by 0.5.
8.5.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said 0.5.
140 divided by 0.5
Really worried
is
there.
164.7.
You right.
Oh, I see what's going on here. We're doing this wrong, aren't we? Because you're multiplying this number here, right? Right? So this is the number we're trying to guess. 145, 140, 145, 130, right?
Oh, because it's the total number.
Yeah, because that's the total number, right? Because we're guessing the total number, not the number that was actually sold,
Yeah.
the total number, okay? So obviously when you do this, it's not going to work because you have 5 and you have the 0.85, so obviously this is not the correct answer, right? And if you do this, what do I get? 119? Okay, so that's the answer. Okay? My bad. 267, number 7. For what value of x is that? So what's the correct answer here? How would you solve this?
Isn't it
Never mind, never mind. 2x plus 3 plus 5 is equal to 0.
It's D. Because
I move this over. I get that.
how does that work?
I just move the 5 over on the other side of the...
Oh, okay. It's impossible.
Yeah. So now I have an absolute number that is negative. When is this going to happen? Never. So the answer is never. Okay. Okay, flip the page. 268. Number 18. If
This is why we're invited to choir. I don't want to be invited.
which of the following could be the value of x? Okay, so this is a fairly interesting question. X, whoops.
It's actually kind of fun. No, I just know
If we just fold
X
that.
squared 6x minus 16 x squared minus 5x plus 6 x squared minus 2x minus 3 minus 6, and my choices are negative 7, negative 5, 0, and 6. Okay. What's the very first thing that I would do here? Or what's the first thing you would do? I don't know, whatever. Factor the things. Okay, so if you actually wanted to solve it, you would have to factor it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But there's one number that I can test right off the bat in my head. 0. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So I get negative 16 over 6, negative 6 over negative 3. That's not happening. Right? So I can immediately get rid of that in my head. Right? Okay. So what else am I going to do? What can I do next? Which would you check? I would check the 6. Just because 6 is an easier number than negative 5 or negative 7. Okay? So I get 36 minus 16, 36 minus 30 plus 6. I get 36 minus 12 minus 3 minus 6. 72 minus 16 is 56, that's correct. 36 minus 30 is 6 plus 6 is 24, 21. Is that happening? I don't even have to do it. This is positive, this is negative. Right? So that's not happening. Right? Now I just plug one in, and if it's that one, it's great. If not, it's the other one, right? Okay. So let's do a little bit of review. Since I went through the effort of actually writing this down, let's actually try to solve this properly, the way that we would do it. How would you properly solve this? I would have to factor 1, 2, 3 of them, right? If I factor this, what do I get?
X minus 2, X plus 8.
X plus 8, x minus 2, x minus 3, minus 6, x minus 3 x plus 1. Good? Are we good? Okay, so when I do this, what am I saying? They cancel out, but I also have to make sure mentally, make sure that I make a note saying what? This is not happening, right? I'm assuming that it's not 2, right? Because I can't divide both sides by 0, correct? So I'm making this assumption, okay? What's the next step? I would multiply both sides by this guy, right? So that this guy would now go away on both sides. Correct? Again, I am now making the assumption that it's not 3. Because I cannot multiply both sides by 0, right? Okay? So what do I have left? I have x plus 8 is equal to negative 6 over x plus 1. What's the next step? I multiply this over, right? X plus 8, 1, negative 6, x squared plus 9x, right? I have 8 here and I have 1 here. When I multiply this, I get 8 is equal to negative 16. Move the 6 over. 14. Correct? X plus 7. X plus 2 is equal to 0. X is going to be either negative 2 or negative 7, right? Okay. I also made sure it's not 2 or 3. What if I got 2 or 3 here? What is that called? A solution that you got that really is not a solution. It's called an extraneous solution. Everybody remember that? Extraneous solution? It's called an extraneous solution. Okay, so that's that one. Let's move on to 11. Square root of 2x minus k is equal to 3 minus x. Okay, and you have those following answers. Okay? So which ones are you going to try first? Negative, I have negative 2, 2, 2, 6, and 6. These are the possible answers. This has to be what? Positive, which means that this guy has to be positive. In other words, 3 minus x has to be positive. X can never be greater than 3. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. These two are gone. Right? So now I'm going to plug in 1 and see if it works. If it does, if it works, great. If not, it's the other, right? Okay? If k is equal to 3, I'm sorry, k is equal to 3, by the way. Okay? So which one I'm going to use now? I would do 2. It's a positive number, right? 4 minus 3 is 1. Square root of 1 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. Winner. Done. Okay, if you try the negative 2, you're going to get what? Negative 4 minus 3 is negative 7. immediately you don't even have to do this part, right? Because you can't have a negative underneath the radical, correct? So you would have found out that that's not true. Okay, either way. Okay, flip the page. And number 13. Which of the following is equivalent to expression that 7x minus 4x plus 9? 7x minus 4x plus 9. What? How would you do this? Let's step aside from the SAT. How would you do it? Okay, this is where your long division skills come in, right? Divided by 7x minus 4. How many of these go into here? I hear the right number. 7, right? It has to be 7, right? Because I have 7x here, right? If I multiply this, I'm going to get 7x times 63. I'm going to subtract. So I want to subtract and get these guys to go away, right? And that's why the 7 comes in there. Everyone understand where the 7 comes from?
Yes.
Okay. So I subtract this, I get negative 67. So this is going to be equal to, it's going to be equal to 7 minus 67 over, or alternately it would be written like this, right? Because this is the remainder, the negative 67 is the remainder, right? And the 7 was up here. So this is going to be equal to that. In other words, now if I write it, it would be like that. Is there anything that looks like that? B is the answer. Okay. So let's look at this if you're given this. What if you are given this? Let's look at the, without doing all this, what can I say? Are there questions that I can, or numbers that I can immediately discard here? C and D, right? Because they do not contain X. It's actually a number, and there's no way that is a number, correct? So C and D go away, so it's either going to be A and B. Okay? And then you would go through and do it to find this. Okay? Move on. Page 272. Ben, read it for me.
During a special sale at a furniture store, Erica bought a floor lamp at a 10% discount. She paid a total of $T, which included the discounted price of the floor lamp and a 6% sales tax on the discounted price. In terms of T, what was the original price of the floor lamp?
Okay. She paid $T, right? So how would you do this? Sorry about that. So what are we trying to find? We're trying to find the original price of the floor lamp, right? The original price is P. All right, this is the original price, and I'm going to discount this by how much? 10%, which I'm going to pay, which means I'm paying that, right? 90% of it, right? And then I have to pay what? 6% sales tax, right? So off of this, then I have to pay 6% sales tax. Correct? Everybody understand why I'm putting the 1 plus the 0.06, right? Because this is the original, right? This is this amount. This is the sales tax that I'm paying. Okay, so this is gonna be P times 0.9 times 1.06, and this was T. Right? And they wanted to find what P is, right? So P is going to be equal to T divided by 0.9 times 1.06. C, is that the correct answer? C, right? C? Okay. Any questions there? Are we good? Page 273. If 60 equally priced downloads cost X dollars, how much do 9 downloads cost? How would I do that?
The two fractions?
It's a ratio, right?
Yeah.
60 to X is equal to 9 to... I do not know, right? This is the one I'm trying to find, correct? T, whatever we call it. I don't even know what I want to call it. So I would get... I'm trying to solve for T. 60T is equal to 9X. T is equal to 9X divided by 60. That would be your answer. Is there anything that looks like that? D, I guess? Is that correct?
Yeah.
D is the answer? Okay. Let's see if there's anything I want to jump ahead. I don't see the jump ahead here. All right, let's go ahead and do number 20. A watch loses X minutes every Y hours. At this rate, how many hours will the watch lose in 1 week? How would I solve that? I'm losing X minutes to Y hours, and I want to find out how many minutes I lose in 1 week, correct? So how many hours are there in 1 week? Right? A day is 24 hours, 7 days in 1 week. Okay? The trick here is what they have underlined there. What's underlined is what? Hours, because this is going to be in minutes, right? My original, what I get is going to be in minutes, right? I have to be able to switch from minutes to hours. And that's where they're hoping I would fail and they would trick me. Right. So if I do this, I get what? You guys learned this, right? This and this is the same, right? You guys haven't learned that? Okay, we'll do it your way. T over 7 times 24. In other words, if I so what I do is when I say the inners and the outers are multiplied, they're the same, is basically I'm cross multiplying. Right? So if I cross multiply, I get ty, y times t, the inners, and then this guy, right, which is this guy. We get it? X 7 times 24 is equal to t times y. So I'm trying to solve for t. This will be my t in minutes. And they want t in hours. So I have to divide that by 60. Right? Right? Because they want it in hours, right? 12, 2, 5, 14x, 5y is your answer. Something that looks like that? D, I guess? D? Okay. to page 280. The equation above was used by the cafeteria in a large public high school to model the relationship between the number of slices of pizza N sold daily and the price of the slice of the pizza P in dollars. What does the number 4 represent in this equation? Okay. So N is equal to 1273 minus 4p, and this is, what is n? N is the number of slices sold, and this is the price of the pizza. So let's see what's happening here. As the price, so this is number of slices sold, and this here is the what? Price of the pizza price of the slice of a pizza. Okay. So what's happening here? As P goes up, what's going to happen to N? Does that make sense? Right? The more you charge, people are going to buy less. Correct? So, the question is, what is the number 4? What do you think the number 4 means? What is the meaning of 4? Look at the options there. A, for every $4 the price of pizza decreases, the cafeteria sells one more slice of pizza. That doesn't make sense. Does that make sense? I don't think so. What about B?
Yeah.
For every $1 the price of a pizza decreases, the cafeteria sells 4 more slices of pizza. That makes sense. That's what that 4 means. Let's go check C and D just to make sure. C, for every $4 the price of a pizza increases, the cafeteria sells 1 more slice of pizza. I don't think so. That doesn't make any sense, right? D, for every $1 the price of a pizza increases, the cafeteria sells 4 more slices of pizza. No, we're going to sell for less, right? So B is correct. Okay, let's go to pen number 10 on page 281. Lila, could you read that for me?
Jeffrey has set a monthly budget for purchasing frozen blended matcha drinks from his local Spend Bucks coffee shop. The equation above can be used to model the amount of his budget, Y, dollars X, that remains after buying coffee for X days in a month. What does it mean that 19.0 is a solution to this equation?
Okay. So when X is 19 and Y is 0, what does that actually mean here is what it's saying. Okay? What is X?
19.
Y, okay, so it's 19. What does that mean? What 19 what?
Days.
Huh?
Days.
19 days, is it? X is what?
Days.
The day of
Doesn't say. Oh, there it is. what in dollars that remains after buying coffee for days in a month. So if you bought coffee for 19 days, that means that what? You have how much dollars left in your account? Zero. That's what Y means, right? So which one does there look like that?
D.
Is that D? Okay, the answer must be D. Okay, the correct answer is D. Okay, good. All right, we're done with that chapter. So this is a good closing point, actually.